be here. Great day to be alive. Man, it's been a long time. It's been a while since we did one in this time of the day. So yeah, really glad about that. I like the different changes and aspects of time. It kind of helps you not get comfortable and set in your ways uh, of what you're doing, and that way things don't become monotonous. Got a really special guest today. Tried to do his last year. I don't remember what happened, but I'm glad that we were able to get it together this time, and he's here. He's live in living color. So we're just gonna bring him in, man. Prep News, please us in Coach. What's up, Coach? Prep
Hey,
News.
how are you?
I'm
Yeah,
great, man. I'm awesome, phenomenal. How's the morning? How was your morning, Coach?
good. We had practice this morning. We're hoping to get on the turf. We got new turf installation going on right now. We're gonna have to wait another day on that. So we're sitting ready to get on our brand new turf and get after it for the season.
Right. So new turf field. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Big Falcon in the middle.
No, we aren't allowed to do that. We share the field with a couple of schools. We're a big
Okay.
school district, so we unfortunately weren't allowed to. Maybe one day though. We've got the money. We've got the people that want to do it. They just weren't allowed to right now. So hopefully one day we'll get it on there.
Right. Tell us about Austin Brown, how he got started in the coaching.
Yeah, I'm from Oklahoma. Played you know played multiple sports in high school. Went to McPherson College and had a good career. Had a lot of good influence, coaching influence that helped change my life. Uh, then came down and coached at Northwestern State in Louisiana. Met my wife and got a couple kids now, and the rest is history. I love Louisiana. Love the culture. Love the life, the food. Uh, it's a lot different than Oklahoma, and I don't think I'll probably ever go back. I love Louisiana.
Oh wow, that's awesome, man. It's people from Louisiana that don't have that mentality about Louisiana. So I'm glad you come here, and I'm sure the food and the traditions of the culture of what Louisiana is are what drew you to this great love and passion um, that's called Louisiana living. The food is definitely exceptional, be it North Louisiana or South Louisiana. Anywhere you go, you can't go wrong with the cuisine.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your college journey coaching at Northwest. Can we start there?
Yeah, so I GA'd and was assistant defensive back coach under Brad Laird, who's now the head coach there. He was the defense coordinator. Bradley Del Pivito was the head coach. It was a great. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better first job to learn the ropes, the high expectations that come with coaching. I think helped me set myself apart. When you work for somebody like Bradley Del Pivito, uh, who's been an SEC coach, who has very high expectations, um, there's it's either that way or no way. It puts you on a different path in the coaching world when you understand what it takes and you've seen people do what it takes. And I couldn't have asked for a better first job,
Right.
better first boss.
So young people, for you all that are not adept to what GA means, that's the graduate assistant at the college level. Um, what's the major difference in being a graduate assistant and their responsibilities versus being a full-time assistant? How does those duties vary
Yeah,
as
so
a graduate assistant?
as a graduate assistant, you're going to do everything from bed checks to printing all the breakdowns, all the computer input, get practice ready and set up. Typical, not very far from a business format where the higher up, the more thinking and decision making you got to do at the GA level. You're more of a grunt, and honestly, it separates people because there is no time to learn unless you do it on your own time.
Okay.
You're working, you're making life easy for the assistant coaches. Um, so when it's meetings, when it's practice, when it's those things, you're working, you're not learning, and
Right.
which I think it separates a lot of people because you have to do your learning on your own time. So when you get off at 10 p.m., that's when you start learning. Um, that's when you start learning the game and breaking it down. And not everybody's built that way. Not everybody's ready to do that. And, so I think the college game there that weeds out a lot of those graduate assistants. Uh, it's a great learning environment. It's like I said, it sets your expectations for the future. And as a high school coach, you're a lot more closer to being a GA than you are, with all the paperwork and getting kids to practice, taking them home, making sure they're fed. So as a high school coach, you're doing a lot more than just coaching football. You're doing all the intangible stuff that uh, I think there's a big correlation between being a high school coach and being a graduate assistant with all the other things that nobody sees you have to do.
So at what point did you know it was time to make a change and you made the decision to get certified to be able to become a high school coach? When did you know that was the right time for you?
I had a daughter that I had in college, and I was offered a couple jobs after graduate assistant. But they were through small Division One, make it get to RA or RD and make it 10, 12, 8,000. By the time I waited my kid and my wife, soon to be wife, um, for that money, honestly, I got into coaching. I high school coach as I did college coach. Uh, the innovation is there at the high school level. Uh, level is better at the high school level. Um, so it really, it was really more of a family decision. I was in it for the kids, not the glory of Saturday night.
Right. You're what how many years have you been at the high school level?
This would be year 10, 11, 11 maybe. It all kinds of runs together. But yeah, I believe year 11. But,
Where'd you get your start in high school football?
Natchez Central. So they're in Northwest, right across the street from Northwestern. I was defense coordinator for a couple of years. Came up to Northwood, be coordinator for a couple of years, and then this will be my 4th year.
Okay, cool. So you've been through the process of college, learning at the high school level as a coordinator, and at what point did you say, well, now it's no better time than the present to try to see if I'm head coach material? What went into that decision with you and your family?
I've always had a goal to be a head coach. Maybe it's my personality, or I just felt like I could to reach a greater good, reach more kids from head coach. Um, it's I've had a lot of goals, a lot of plans, falling my way and so I don't know if it was ever an immediate decision. Uh, Things quickly fell my way. I got to Northwood, and that coach, Coach Allen, who's a mentor, decided he was almost done, and that kind of spurned the thought of being a head coach. It wasn't, it wasn't a quick decision, but it was. I couldn't pinpoint it when I decided. It just kind of happened, and I always felt I was ready. I wasn't really pushing for it to happen, and it kind of just fell my way.
Right. Um, man, you got some um, here in Louisiana, we're big on seasoning. Uh, so you're a seasoned coach now. You have time invested in this thing that we love called high school football. Your season ends last year, and this is a part where I love to say everyone has the same 11 months to prepare for Poydras, because the last month is the playoffs. So everyone gets the same 11 months. You finished last year. You give your kids a break. What was that break like? And what do you tell kids when you say, "Hey, we're done. We're starting back February"? Well,
No, they didn't get a break. They got one day to check their pads in, and then we were back to the off season grind.
okay.
So they got one day. So we lost in the quarterfinals to Brother Martin on a Friday, and Monday we checked our pads in, cleaned them up, cleaned the lockers, and then Tuesday we were back in the weight room and on the field getting better. So not much of a break. They get Christmas break off. They get a week after school and a week during 4th of July. That's about the only breaks they get. So we got a great staff that's very knowledgeable, and they believe in teaching, which I think is a key to success. And so I think we got straight back to the weight room and teaching in the classroom. So to answer your question, no, we didn't have a break.
So with this new rule change, I think it maybe happened 2 years ago, where it's no to the time that you can have your kids and be working with them, having them doing drills, strength and conditioning, and those things. Is that much better for you guys now, from being able to teach skill development, being able to help kids to become smarter from an IQ perspective of understanding what the team's goals and philosophies are? Is the more time you have, is that better to help your younger guys become adept to the varsity action?
Yeah, I think Louisiana gives you plenty of opportunities to get better. A lot. We have a lot more leeway to interact with our kids. I think there is too much football. We may run and lift, do gym like that. We do give them a little time from the grind of football, and I it's very beneficial with the rules that Louisiana allowed us to do, get after it. So um, I'm very appreciative of being in Louisiana and having the rules not every state as far as the time that we're able to interact with them.
Oh, okay. The new year, January, February passed by. You guys, you call a coaches meeting. You refinalize your staff for the new upcoming school year. You have your coaches meeting. What goes into what you guys discuss and the points that you're trying to make to bolster improvement for your spring season? What's that thing like for you guys, and how you try to use a progression scale in building the team for the spring?
It's a couple months long process of breaking down the film 9 ways to Sunday, uh, checking all our old notes that we do try and do a good job of taking daily notes, almost like a journal, reviewing those things through the off season, and then we do have a meeting in late winter that all right, set forth a plan what next year looks like, or what we believe next year is going to look like. Um, you really never know what kids going to step up, or what kids going to make huge jumps, leaps in their playing ability until that spring. But we start to formulate that plan in February, and then get after there in April and
So in this process, how many seniors did you guys lose from last year's team? And from my journey and my coaching experiences, I always try to talk to the middle schools, start talking to them and trying to get in their mental psyche as soon as our season ended, on saying, hey, start working on your skill set. We're going to be looking forward to you guys being the leaders for this upcoming season for 7th and 8th grade combined basketball. Is that kind of what you guys do, or what formulation do you guys put together?
Yeah, so we have a good relationship with our middle school, down there as much as possible. Good relationship with the elementary school and the neighborhood teams. We have the same process every year now. And it may tweak a little bit, but it starts with hard work and making sure those 8th graders understand what we don't want it to be a secret. We don't want to act like we're Prince Promise in the world before they get here. They understand what it's going to be. So when they get here, it's not a shock. We graduated. 7 of them got full ride scholarships for football. 3 at the Power 5 level. Our group of 5 Power 5 level. We very, very successful class, and we've got a small senior class this year.
Okay.
But it's you can't dwell on what you've lost. It's the next man up. We look. I love my seniors. I still talk to them, but the day we lost was their last day, and we moved on, and we got better from there. And that hurts. I understand that at that point, one time they were the friends moved on to them. It's a process. It's the same process every year.
Right. So do you guys do 2 weeks of pads or 1 week before you enter into your spring game?
We get 10 practices. So last week of April is usually when that starts. We get 10 practices and or a game. We get 10 practices and or a game, and but they're all padded. We get 10 padded practices.
Okay. What grade did you guys give your kids? After you go back and watch film from your spring game, being it what do you guys have, a brown and white game, or did you guys actually have an opponent?
We played Alexandria High.
Okay, great. That's a great challenge, man. Ash has been really growing in their competitive nature. Like, we grew up watching Ash. They've always had spectacular athletes. I think that's a really good scrimmage for any team, competing against Ash.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Search out.
You finish your spring. What happens next? We know it's no break. Do you guys go straight into lifting, getting stronger for 7v7? Is it a process where you guys are reissue the playbooks out to the kids so that they can start learning the playbook for next year?
Yeah, so we the spring is a great barometer for what we need to focus on during the summer, and so after that spring game, we're very young. Like I said, graduated 23 seniors, 17 starters. So we were very young, and we learned a lot about ourselves in that spring, and we're able to formulate a plan. I think we've done that plan very, very well. We are a lot better than we were in May right now in August. So I think spring served its purpose, and I'm excited to get going next week.
Right. When you go say you're excited. When you look at the summer from a lot of, and this summer has been it's hot. 77 O lineman, D lineman camps. How do you feel that you guys handle staying hydrated along with doing the things necessary to learn how to better run routes and read the and from a linebacker perspective? What grade would you give your kids from the 7B summer O-line, D-line camp?
We actually didn't do too much of that. We did it a little bit for competition, but focused on ourselves and, like you said, the route running and technique. And we're so young, we needed to spend a little extra time on us and not so much worried about going to all these camps. So we didn't do too much of that. We like you said, we just focused on ourselves. We improved tremendously this offseason. Focused on tougher and contact. I think we got all our goals that we set forth. I think we completed all of them and did well. So
Right.
I'm very happy with how the summer went.
Go back into losing 3 years. We know that there's some games, the district games you can't change. Your non-district games. I think this starts the new year for your 2-year contracts. Did you change the toughness, I guess, of the teams you played? Did you go up, down, or did you pretty much stay consistent in rescheduling and rebooking the same type of teams that you competed against last year in your non-district games?
Yeah, so we are going to schedule a 5A team. We're a 4A school. We're going to schedule a 5A team I think we compete with, and we schedule teams for different reasons. Maybe we think this team is more athletic than us. We need it that way. Maybe we think a very good coaching staff. And we test chess. We schedule our we don't want never want to schedule a 45-point win. We want to schedule a game that's going to be close and prepare us for the playoffs.
Right. Can I ask a question about the playoffs? When you look at, again, tough loss to Brother Martin last year. Again, everything that you wanted to do, you said worked out for you guys in the spring. You said you guys were happy with the way that summer ended. Now you guys finished fall camp last week. What's the personal plans that you guys have adapted to get back to the playoffs for this year? And again, I talk to coaches a lot. And they're not looking past the season, but you want to see if you can make it back to where past where you made it last year. Have you guys thought that yet? With losing so many seasons?
Yeah, I mean that's going to handle itself if you handle what you can control. What we can control is practicing hard every day, being tough and physical, and if you handle your non-district, our district is loaded this year. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but if we can do those things, the playoffs are fall how they may. But we don't have goals of where we try to get back to where make sure that we play physical and get after it on a daily basis. That playoffs not still handle themselves.
When you look at the overall growth and what you guys accomplished spring, summer, now, how do you, without overpowering your kids, how do you ease into building to the first week of the season to have individual success from the offense, defense, special teams point of view to dominating the game in week one? What does that look like for you guys?
I mean, for us, it's just a microcosm of the whole process. I think you can have a set schedule, but these are 16, 17 kids. You may not want to give them a Tuesday off, but that's the response. We've got to be smart and intelligent. The rule of the game, the goal is to be fast and fresh. So as much as you want to grind and get after, I couldn't give you what that actually looks like. It changed. It's really demand of what their bodies are demanding.
Right.
I go to the same all day long. And August, keep the
Coach.
that we do.
Coach B, I didn't get really any of that one. Like it was going in and out a bit much there. Ooh. All righty. Well, we'll see if Coach is coming back. That was definitely tough to decipher right there on that last little part there. We'll get Coach a minute. We're gonna try to get Coach Austin Brown back at another date. Really great talking to Coach Brown, though. Not a very good signal for us towards the end, but although yet the same, great interview. Learned a lot about Coach Austin Brown and his journey into high school athletics, and just kind of how they do things at Northwood High School football. It was really great, exciting, very exciting learning about Coach Brown and his love and passion and desire for the game. So we'll definitely work on trying to get Coach Austin Brown, Northwood Falcons football back. Thank you guys for joining us to into the game.